Hey guys, Jason at Kaiser Willys. Today I'm going to talk about a commonly asked question. I just had a guy on the phone give me a call about the oil canister and our oil filter. So I have our new oil canister here. So this is the civilian one, it's the smaller one. And when you buy this, you get a filter with it as well. Now the customer asked, the filter, which if you pull this out, you have the filter, and then you have two gaskets in here. Now, when you buy this, here's my recommendation. Put these on the shelf, don't use them. You don't need them. Because the canister is actually going to already have a gasket in place, and it's actually a little bit different, and I'll show you this because I'm going to pop this open. But I want to talk about the different fittings that will be used here and about this bolt specifically. So guys will buy this and they'll say, hey, I got this from you, it's leaking, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you a couple things you need to do before you make the installation on this on your Jeep. Now, if you notice right here, you see this bolt, you've got a copper washer and you've got this little fiber piece. What that fiber piece is doing is actually keeping the bolt from being tightened down so tight that it would actually crush this washer too quickly. You're going to be the one that's crushing this. So let me pull this bolt off and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so if you see, I've got the bolt here, washer, fiber piece. You'll want to take this bolt out and you'll want to remove the fiber so that you've just got the copper. Now, when you run this in, the copper washer will crush the way that you need to, sealing this bolt here. Now, what I was telling you is there's already a rubber gasket here. So if you put one of these gaskets on here with this, then it's going to cause a problem with the lid to here. And so the two most common places that guys say they leak is from this bolt, which we've addressed with removing the fiber washer, and with the lid, because guys will try to put one of those gaskets that come with the filter on top of this, which makes it not sealed. Now, the next thing to talk about is you've got your port here and you've got your port here. If you are leaking and you've removed the fiber gasket from the bolt on the top, you're still leaking from either one of these points, check this pinhole right here and make sure that it is clean. What will happen is that goes down into the stem and it will actually drain out from the bottom. You want to take you can take a paper clip that's small enough to get in there, a pick, something like that, and just make sure that that's clean and it doesn't have any sort of gunk or anything like that, or, machining or paint or anything, because you see these things can get painted here. But you got to take this off to put the filter in first. Do that. Just check that. Make sure. Originally, the hose would have gone directly in with no fitting. There's an upgraded design to these oil hoses where you have a swivel end, which has a flare fitting on it. And then you have an opposite end on some of them where they have a straight port. Now, I prefer two swivel ends. So swivel in here, swivel in there, because then you can take off on the swivel part separately without having to spin the hose by taking the other side off. So this is the F-head hose, and it's got two swivel ends. So what that means is you are going to need, and we include these fittings with the canisters for this reason, this is going to need a straight port with a flare nut fitting. And I don't know if you could see that, but that's a flare nut fitting. So this will need to go in the top port right here to take you with the swivel. And then on the other end, which is going to be down by the block or down on the block by the fuel pump, will also need a flare nut fitting. But for that, you would be using a 90 degree. You can see that that's a 90 degree. Now, if you ever get into a situation where you have a hose like on the L-head has a swivel end and a fixed end. So in this situation, you can either go directly into actually it's going to be up here. You can go directly into the canister with the fixed end and then take the other end and swivel in to an A215 flare nut fitting at the block, or you can take a straight port inverted flare nut fitting into the canister port. But then on the other side, because you're fixed, you would need a straight port, which is our part number A240. So if you look here, that's a 90 degree with a straight through hole. So that's kind of giving you an idea of what this would look like and what kind of fittings you need to buy, as well as what to check with this guy. So this is our short guy, swivel on the end and swivel on the other end. So you would have this, and then your timing cover, which is where this one goes from the bottom of the canister over to the timing cover. It has a fitting already on the actual timing cover. So it's a flare nut fitting. So for this particular hose, you need one flare nut for the bottom of the canister. And then the other end of this is going to go directly to the timing cover, which has a flare nut fitting on it as well. So this is just me answering a common question. I just had one from a customer. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have questions, please give us a call.